Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing my version of what they call 14-day pickles. Mine actually takes 16 days, but I leave them in alum for 2 days. So let me get you set up. Let me explain first. The pickles that I'm about to take out of the bucket has been sitting in a saltwater brine consisting of 3 cups of sugar to a gallon of water. I boiled it on the stove, and then I poured it over them. And then I continued to fill the bucket up with hot water from the sink until it covered the pickles thoroughly. And then I'll show you I have a plate in there and I think it's a bowl or a cup or something in there to help hold it down so it keeps everything covered. And if you keep everything covered, you won't have as many issues like with mold and, on top of them. But give me just a sec, get you set up, and then we'll get started. The first thing I'm going to do is stir up this kraut I'm making for my brother. Now, the way I do kraut is I put it in a bucket. See? I grind it up, put it in a bucket. It's kind of like the way the crock pots used to do. But every day for 2 days, I come in here and I stir this kraut. And I put, what was it? A third a cup of sugar, or salt, a third a cup of salt to 2 cups of vinegar. And what I'm doing is letting this start to ferment in this bucket. And another thing I like to do is, I'll put this over here for now. I like to taste it to see if it's, if it's too salty or whatever. No, it's just right. It shouldn't be like, oh my God, it dried my mouth up salty. But you should be able to taste the salt. Okay, now, Saturday I'm taking this to him, but it won't be ready for another, probably, I think it's 4 weeks, a month. But I will jar this for him and take it to him. Then I will take him some I already have made to get him through to while this is going. But this is the best way I found to do kraut so far. Okay, let me see which bucket this one is. Yeah, ain't the one I need. This is it. Okay. Now this bucket here, I wish that would lean down a little bit more. Let me let you on down so maybe you can see. This bucket here has been set in its salt water. I made the saltwater brine. It was 3 cups of salt to 2 gallons of water. And I poured it over here. Then, like I said, I finished up with, filling the bucket up. No, it was 3 cups of sugar to 1 gallon of water because that's what my pot held. Then I continued filling it up. Okay. I'm going to pop a lid on this. Now, these do not look that bad, but they have been setting for 7 days in that water. We're going to take all this out. And there's the cucumbers. And these will be hot peppers too. Okay? So, what I'm going to do, these will be hot pickles, but we're going to do another kind here in a minute that are sweet pickles. Okay? But it all works the same. I do all my pickles the same. Okay? Let me wash them dishes up, get them out of the sink, and I'll be right back. Okay, now, what I'm going to do is take this bucket, there's the pickles and the peppers, and I'm going to dump them in the sink. The sink is clean, but I want to get them out. I want them to come out of the salt water today. And I'm going to go ahead and rinse my bucket out because I will be reusing it. Okay, now remember, these pickles have sat in salt water for 7 full days. Let me get this up for a second. Now, I'm just going to rinse these off real good. Okay. Now, let me grab my mandolin. And no, it's not a musical instrument. This is on a thick slice. I like my pickles a little thicker. They seem to stay crunchier. So I do a thick slice on it. Okay. Now, let me move you over here a little bit closer. I'm trying to get you where you can see what I'm doing. Okay. Now, the cucumbers, what I do is I just slice them right back into the bucket. And you want to slice, if you want to do the pickle spears, whatever, this will be the time to do it. Okay, right in here, you get to the top of this cucumber. Don't be greedy. Let that go. It ain't worth your fingers. Okay, here's another one. I usually try to use smaller cucumbers when I do this, but I just had to use what I had. Some of these are straight 8s, and some of them are another type of pickle. I don't know. Can you see in my big old belly what I'm doing? Let's see. You see, I'm just slicing them into the bucket. This just makes it a lot easier, a lot quicker if you get one of these little mandolins. They're not expensive. I'm going to say under $15 at Walmart. Okay, like I said, I ain't getting greedy. I ain't trying to lose my fingertips. Okay. Now, if you come across a cucumber that looks like it's just completely gross, which I mean, it does make a hole in them and make them soft. That ain't what I'm talking about. If I see one, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, I cut myself. I told you I had to get you. Hold on, let me go bandage this up and get a glove, and I'll be right back. I'm back. I gloved up, and that's a Band-Aid over it. I don't want everybody eating my blood, so this is what we do. Now, if you watch, this cucumber here is not wanting to cooperate. And that's why I got cut, so I'm just going to chuck it in the trash. Okay? We'll go right back to it. But do pay attention to what you're doing. And these old manlins will get you. Okay, now I also do the hot peppers in there because I want these pickles to be hot. And I do season all. I do these every year, and people do sure like them, so that's why I'm doing them again. And I did rinse the mandolin off, and I rinsed that pickle off to make sure there was no blood on it where I nicked it. Okay. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and finish slicing these pickles, and I'll bring you back. That way the video don't turn into a 3-hour ordeal. Okay, I found one pickle here. If you look, it disintegrated in the bucket. So it goes to the hogs. And this one here is not real good either, so it's going to the hogs. And I'm going to go ahead and finish slicing these. But then I'll bring you right back. But I wanted to show you them pickles do sometimes disintegrate like that. Okay. The pickles are all sliced. Peppers are all sliced in here. This is ice I'm putting in here. And this is the pickle crisp you buy at the store. You can use alum. You can use cannon lime. You know, just whatever you can get. I use any of it. It just happened I had this handy. Okay. You get this open. I pour the whole container down in there. And then I start running water, cold water, over these pickles. And what this does is it makes them pickles get crispy again. So I want to make sure all this is dissolved. Okay. Now I like to take my hand and kindly swoosh it around a little bit. Okay. Now, when your water gets back up over your pickles, go ahead and take your plate or whatever you're going to use that'll fit down in your bucket. Mine just happens to be these plates. They fit great. And I try to just drop it and make sure it catches all them vegetables. Hold on, let me do this again. There it went. Okay, it caught all the cucumbers in there. And what I'm going to do is just make sure that there's enough water to cover this plate. And then when it is, I'll set something in there, if I can find something. Might be this jar. Yeah, probably this jar. And now this is way over the pickles, and that's fine. And I'm going to take the lid and catch this jar so that it holds those pickles in place. Now I let these set for 2 days. And then I'll take and show you what we do next, because these here have been sitting for 2 days, and now they were in lime. So that's just what I had. Let me rinse this out. Okay, I have one of these. I never did find a use for it, so I bent them little tricks down. And I like to put it in the bottom of my sink so my pickles don't go down the drain. But these here have been sitting in, well, alum or lime or whatever kind of water you choose to use for 2 days. And what that does is that makes your pickles crispy again. Okay. Hold on just a second. You have to take these I like to dump them slowly so they don't wash that little trick away. Now this is going to be a sweet type pickle, but I try to get them going to where they all work about, you get 1 to 1 to 1. Like today, them ones needed to be rinsed or sliced, and these needed to be rinsed. And I'm rinsing them with cold water. Be sure you wash your sink real good. And I used to use vinegar and Dawn dishwashing liquid to wash mine to make sure there was nothing that would contaminate my pickles. Okay. Now I got to put them back in the bucket. Let's rinse the bucket out. These are just Walmart buckets. They're back there in the paint section. You buy them and a lid separately for some reason, but that's the way Walmart does it. Okay. Let's pick all of our cucumbers up and put them back in the bucket. As you see, this makes a lot of cucumbers per bucket. And the smaller the cucumbers is, the more you'll actually have, because the big ones just take up a lot of room in the bucket. But these here is a real big hit. I'll show you the solution I put over them. Here's that little screen. Then there's a couple right around it that I couldn't see, but okay. There we are. They're back in the bucket. Now, let's go over here to the stove a second. Now, can you see? Yeah. Okay. Over here to the stove, I use 1 gallon of vinegar. Now, this is the way I do it. I go ahead and put in 1 gallon of vinegar. Okay. Let me put this over here. And then this is 5 pounds of salt, of sugar. 5 pounds of sugar. Go ahead and put it in there. Okay. Now what we're going to do is turn this on, because we need it for it to boil. Okay. Now, give me just a second. Let me find my pickling spice. Hold on. I'll be right back. Okay, right here I have a plate. And here I have a clean piece of cloth. I'm going to lay it in the plate. And I'm going to take this whole bottle of pickling spice and put it in that cloth. Now I'm going to pull all the ends up here together to make sure that that doesn't fall out or anything. Then I've got this is a long bread tie. I don't know exactly what it is, but it looks like a bread tie. You can use a bread tie, zip tie, whatever you want. You just want to make sure that them seeds and stuff does not escape the cloth. Okay, now I'm going to pull this as tight as I can get it. Okay, that didn't work. Hold on just a second. I must have missed a corner. I did right here. Okay. Okay. We'll try this again. Now, normally I would use cheesecloth, but I couldn't find mine. And after about 2 hours of looking, I just give up. Now I want to make sure this is good and tight. Okay. Now I'm just going to throw it in there because when it goes in the bucket, I will eventually take that out so we're not eating them seeds. While I'm waiting on this to come to a boil, I'll let you go, and that way it don't sit here for 26 hours while we're waiting on a pot to boil. But I'll come back as soon as this is boiling and show you what we do next. Okay, this is finally boiling. I'm going to turn you around, and what I'm going to do is pour this over the pickles that sit in that alum water or lime water for 2 days. And then this, once it's in there, sets for 7 more days. Then after that, they're good to eat and they'll last forever. Now let me turn you around so you can see what I'm doing. Let me grab this pot and I'll be right back. It should hold all this. Okay, it is. That'll take your breath. That's the problem. Whew. Okay. Now I'm going to take this little spoon and I'm going to push them spices down in there a little bit. Okay. Now, once again, I'm going to drop a plate in there to make sure they all stay below that sugar water. Okay, here's a bowl. I'm going to put the lid on it. And now, in 7 days, these will be done and ready to eat. This is the crowd again. And this is the ones that's sitting in the alum water. Or lime water. Pickle crisp water. Yeah, pickle crisp water. Okay. Now, remember, you start out, you taking boil. My power went out for just a second. It's what happened there, if you want to know. Let me get this off here. Okay, we do 2 cups of salt, set the microwave so it quits. You do 2 cups of salt to a gallon of water and boil it. Sorry. And then you put it over your pickles for 7 days. You drain it, rinse them, slice them, or you put it over your cucumbers, whole cucumbers. Then you drain them, slice them, and put them back in your bucket. And then you put them with either alum, pickle and lime, that pickle crisp, or anything like that will work. You just put that over it for 2 days is what I do, because that makes them a little extra crunchy. And I like keeping cold water on. Now in the morning, I will put more ice in there to keep that cold for that 2 days. But then when you get them out, you make your solution. It's like these here are like a sweet pickle, and they're sweet with a little bit of sour on the back side of them in your throat, but they're delicious. Now, the next one, I will buy that dill pickle mix at Walmart, the powder kind. I will make 2 packs of it exactly as the instruction says. And then I will get it to boiling and pour it over this bucket of hot pickles. And that way they're dill and they're hot. But I do all my pickles this way, no matter what they are. It's just the way I like to do them, and they keep forever. I've had some of these pickles like we just made today for 2 years in the bucket. Now you can, like, you know where I keep these. Let me see if I can find one real quick. See these? I keep these. And you know the little plastic mayonnaise jars? I keep these little plastic jars and stuff like that. And I put pickles in them. And that way I'm not using all like, you know, them big mayonnaise jars, peanut butter jars, whatever. They don't have to be sealed. You just stick them in them little plastic jars and you don't have to waste your good canning jars. Well, I hope this helps you. If you got any questions, write them in the comments and I'll try my best to answer them for you. But, you know, this I guess would be kind of a bread and butter, but it's a little sweeter than bread and butter pickle. I do dill pickles this way. I do the hot pickles this way. There's four. Oh, I do okay. We will do if I can get more cucumbers, I have a cinnamon pickle. It's called a candy pickle. I do. And they're really good too. They're real sweet and crunchy, and people love them. So, you know, we'll do that too. But I just got to get more cucumbers. But I'll let you go. Y'all have a good day. You have a blessed day. Be good to each other, and we will see you on the next video.